All right. Happy Saturday. Wow, super cool. Happy to have you with me if you're here. It doesn't sound like anybody's in the chat at the moment, but if you are, say hi and let me know how you're doing, and we will start talking about Zustand or Zustand according to the README. Let's go take a look. So, all right, here is the Zustand main screen on zustandsurge.sh. Got that really cool kind of 3D sweeping effect. I hope you can see that. It's really neat as you swing from side to side. And I think part of that is because it's actually connected to the React Spring project, which is where React 3 Fiber comes from. So some really cool stuff. And what we're going to use it for today is, just a Pokemon list, searchable Pokemon list, so you can see the basics of how this system works. This is another state manager for React. And it, as I mentioned in the original video, it kind of fits in this nice little gap that was created as we went from like singleton stores like Redux and MobX and started thinking, maybe that's not such a great thing. With hooks coming out, we can do local state. We always could do local state, but people were sort of moved away from that to do Redux as a singleton. And then we got hooks, and it was like, oh no, local state's great again, so let's do some local state. But then it turns out that like sometimes you have parts of the tree that need to connect to the that shared state, and use context can be problematic. You can go and create a lot of different, cascading re-renders. So the alternative was to use things like, for example, recoil, or there's a new one called Jotai, which we'll be covering, or this one, Zustand. So let's go take a look. Let's check it out. So we're gonna basically create a store, which will then create in turn a hook, which I think is an interesting pattern. I don't think we've seen that before. So let me go over into a terminal, iTerm2, and then we'll create, let's see, Pokemon Zustand, if I'm getting that right. And then we'll bring up VS Code. Oh, actually, you know what? I didn't want to do it that way. I want to do it with Create React App, because that's, what people are more likely to expect. So npx Create React App, and then Pokemon Zustand. Such a nice day. It's finally nice again in Oregon. Nice to see. All right. That's interesting. Wow. That's actually a lot more of a startup than I usually get with Create React App. Whatever. That's fine. Anyway, yeah, the fog, the smoke appears to be out of my area, so that's great. Okay, so let's see. Pokemon. Oh, create app. That's what I messed up. God, what did I create? Okay, MBX Create React App. Pokemon Zustand. Let's get this right. One last time. Okay, that's looking good. I'll have to go figure out what that created. Create app? Okay, who knows? Anywho, yeah, so smoke is out of my area at the moment, so that's good. Hi, Faustino. Good to have you back. I'm going to grab some water before I get dehydrated on you. Today we're looking at Zustand, like we did in this week's Wednesday video. It's a new state manager for React. Although you can use it outside of the React context, which we will as well. It was kind of neat. How are you doing? How's life? While we're waiting for Create React App to start up. Okay, so it looks like that's done. It would be good to actually CD into that directory first. What I create? I created Pokemon Zustand. So let's go code CD to Pokemon Zustand, and then code in there. All right, that's looking good. Now we're cooking with gas, Faustino. Just you and me hanging out, doing some Create React app. All right. And let's see. Hopefully you can see that. Let me know if you can't. Let's start her up. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's go and add in Zustand first. So this is what we're going to use for our state management today. We're going to do a Pokemon list app. So we'll go and add Zustand. Pretty small library. And then we'll start her up and see how it goes. All right, so, no big deal so far. Everything looks good. Perfect. I like that. That's a good thing. So we're going to go and change out .app to have no margin or pat. Well, let's see. So actually, I want margin auto with 800px just to put it in the middle of the screen for us. Font size large so we can all see it. And then what else? Oh, that would be fun. Interesting. Let's do the Zustand first, and then if it's just you and me, we could do React Spectrum. Hi, Emmanuel. Good to see you for the UI. So let's make our width on this guy 100% and padding, just a little nice, and font size again large. So okay. So now we've got our CSS set up. Let's go over and take a look at our React. We can get rid of almost all of it. Okay, so how are we going to set up our Zustand store? So let's go grab some code. I like copy and paste. I'm a fan. Let's not copy and paste too much. We're just going to go and grab create. Okay. And let's see. Sorry about that. So we need Pokemon. That's our list of Pokemon. And we need our filter, which is going to have our filter in it. And we also want some setters, I believe. So let's see. Do we want setters? I think so. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So, okay. So we can do set Pokemon takes a Pokemon and then returns a set. All right. And let's see, state, takes a state, and then we're going to give it the state with the new Pokemon. So that's going to be our setter for the Pokemon and also our setter for the filter. Hi, Christian. How are you doing? Nice to meet you. All right. So we've got now we've got our hook. We've got a use store hook, which is pretty cool. So, okay. So how are we going to use that? Well, let's just go and create a filter input first. So we're going to drop down here, create a filter input. Got to define that somewhere. So we'll define it up here. Okay. And it'll return an input with a value is something, and on change we'll get to in a second. Now, how are we going to go get that value? Cool. So, all right. So in order to get like the store, the data out of the store, we use that use store. So here's the most simple value of that. So we're going to say that we want filter is use store state filter. And then we want the set filter to return that set filter method. All right. So now we get an event in here. I've got to do something with it. So let's set filter event target value. Okay. Let's take a look. Well, got a field, got something. Hey there. Okay, it's looking good. But do we know that it's actually setting anything? No. So I'm going to copy and paste that line, pop it into here, filter, and then create a div and just put it out there. Oops, not a div B. And then I got to put that in brackets. And now if I type Christian's name, ta-da! Bob's your uncle. So there's a quick way of doing state that is shared seamlessly between these. Which is better, recoil or Zustand? Actually, Christian, I would say for me it's between Zustand and a new one called Jotai, and I'll have a video on that not next week but the week after. Next week's video is going to be on using module federation with Vue 3, so that's totally cool. Oh, geez, that's a tough call. I like them both. I really do. I don't know. What do you think? Good question. You know, have you tried recoil, and how do you compare it to Zustand? Okay, so that's cool, but we don't have our Pokemon list. So let's go and get our Pokemon list. So I've got a gist here. I'll pop that into the comments. And I'll click on the raw, and that'll give me basically the raw JSON, which you can essentially then use as an endpoint. A cheap endpoint there. So we'll drop that in there as URL. And then we'll use a use effect hook in app to go and get that data for us. And now we only want to run once, so we need to put an empty array in there, basically saying run once and only once. Looking to pick a good state manager for MFE federated modules. Ooh. Yeah. You know what? Okay. Let's see. Emmanuel was like, we should use React Spectrum for the UI. Could do that. Or once we get this going, and this is going to be super fast, I could go and copy and paste this code into one of my Module Federation starter kits, and then we'll try it out in Module Federation and see how Zustand does with that. What do you think? Does that sound like fun? Okay, so we got our use effect. So now we're going to go fetch that Earl, the Duke of Earl. I'm going to get back our response and take the JSON out of there. And then we got to set it. Well, I need that. So let's see. Let's replace this with set Pokemon, which we defined up here as set Pokemon. Drop that in there. And let's see if that works by going and getting the Pokemon list as well. And dropping it in there, but it's going to blow up because React really doesn't like rendering base objects. So json.stringify. I kind of like the look of React Spectrum as well. Like it's a nice clean look. I mean, it's very Adobe, right? If you use the Adobe suite and you log into any of their web apps, it's basically that. Yeah, cool. Okay, so what's happening now? Let's take a look in the inspector. Oh, wow. Let me turn that off. I was working on another video today that was like all about responsive stuff. So let me, how do I get this over onto the side? Oh, there it is. Let's dock on the side. Not that side, the other side. Okay. This is my favorite side to put this on. Okay, so if we go over to network, we can see that we are going off and getting that data. Where is it? XHR. There's your Pokemon JSON fetch. So that's happening because we're doing all this work. So that's cool. So now let's put together a Pokemon table. And again, we're not going to take eprops, right? It's going to go get the data from the store. And that would be, at this point, the Pokemon. Hey, Alex. How you doing? Happy Saturday. So we'll create a 100th width table. And then T-body, because React is going to get angry with me if I just put TRs in there. And then we'll map our Pokemon. Call it just P. Create a keyed row for each one. And then the name English. And the type joined with a comma. And let's take a look. Hey, that's nice, I guess. Oh, divs. There we go. Okay. Now it's going to look nicer. Oh, there we go. That's looking real. Okay. Cool. So we've got our pretty much there, except that if we type, nothing happens. So let's go fix that. Doing great. Good, good. Good to hear. I can actually breathe out here today, which is nice. There was a lot of smoke, as you guys might have heard, when it comes to Portland and Oregon in particular, and well, California. So thankfully the air quality is better here today. So I'm going to get the filter, the current filter from the store. And then I'm going to use the filter method on the array to just filter the English, the name.english. Then I'm going to lowercase and see if it includes the filter, which I'm also going to lowercase. Filter.two lowercase is not a function. That's interesting. Is that true? That doesn't seem right. Let's go take a look. Let's go. Actually, there we go. Filter is an array. How did filter get to be an array? That doesn't make much sense. Okay. Oh. What? Okay. I guess that was a copy and paste error. Sorry about that. I don't know why I'm apologizing to except myself. Okay, so there we go. Now we can filter. How cool is that? So pretty nice separation of concerns here. You got a nice store there, pretty clear. You know, you got your basic, your values, you got your setters. And we can even do something where we do this out of band. Essentially, that's another thing you want to do with these state managers is, can you do stuff not necessarily bound to the React tree itself? And in particular, like load up initial state. That's kind of a classic. So can we do this fetch, but do it like up here? Well, let's do it over here. Just so it's pretty clear that we're not like in Reactiverse. Okay, so we don't have set Pokemon. So let's see, we're going to get Pokemon. So what do we do with that? So we can go over here to use store and see what functions are on that. And I think it's like set state. There we go. Set state. And just like before, I guess I'm just going to call it. Oh, I should be able to, I want to be able to invoke set Pokemon on it. That's interesting. I wonder how I can do that. But there you go. So that's going to give us a set of the state. And then let's go and remove this. Middle of checking how fast are the state management solutions. MobX is like 2 times faster than Recoil, 4.5 times faster than Redux. I love MobX, so that's good news for me. All right, so let's see. So I'm gonna save that one more time. Let's see how we do. So yeah, so now we are, when the application starts up, we create this use store, and then we, possible to upload a video here directly to the chat. I don't think so, but I would love to hear all of that. So Archer, we're actually going to have a Q&A meetup after this, where it'll be on Discord, and we'll have just the video on there, and then you can go and take over and show what you got. And that's not recorded or anything like that, so feel free to show up. Alex, you want to take care of like setting that up when you get done, because I'm pretty bad with that sort of thing. Okay, cool. So yeah. Now, well, let's just go through what we've got. So we've got an app. It doesn't need a provider or anything like that. That's awesome. This is pretty clean. Obviously, we're just bringing in some values. Pokemon table. This is pretty clean. We're just getting the filter, getting the Pokemon, running the filter in the component, which I'm not 100% sure I like. It would be nice if that was actually in the model itself. And then the filter, this is, I would say, pretty clear, right? So you're getting filter and set filter. Yeah. And I think you can do, if you want to get multiple items, let's go check this out. So if I do filter and set filter like that, I think that works too. So let's try that if you want it to be a little bit more terse. Yeah, that works fine. Yeah, that works good. That works good. So that's cool. Okay, so Christian, I know you wanted to see if we could do this in Module Federation. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't just try that. Like, why not? I mean, we got time. It's a pretty quick one. So if y'all are happy to watch me go and hack a little bit, we can make that happen. So let's go and get rid of some windows, and then go back here. And now we've got Pokemon Zustand. So we'll go and open up this directory using OSX. Create a new folder. We'll call it Original. And grab everything that's not in there. Put it into Original. Let's see. Do we have anything? Oh, we got a DS store. That's fine. Whatever. Okay. That looks good. So now the original thing that we just did is in a file called Original. And we'll use dget to go and get, so let's see. I'm going to do this. Let's do a home page first. Okay. And then we'll bring that up in code. Yeah, thank you, Alex. That's awesome. And we'll go and grab all of this, which is all the code that we just wrote, and put it over here into our app.jsx. And we'll bring in index.css. And let's see. So we also need the CSS. And I think the last thing we would need would be Zustand, right? So let's go into home, add Zustand. Okay. And let's fire it up. See how we go. Hey, and it doesn't work. Of course it doesn't work. I think I know why it probably doesn't work. I think in the original file, I do like, yeah, I think the original starter kit has like a React DOM in here thing as well. And we also manage the React DOM. So let's go and create a new file called bootloader.js. We'll import React DOM. And then we'll import app from app, and then React DOM dot render app into document dot get element by ID, the app, and then we'll point index at bootloader. Okay, let's take a look. Now does it work? React is not defined. Fair enough. Okay, sure. And that's because I'm using JSX in there, so let's fix that. Hey! Ta-da! That was quick. Yeah, nice. Okay, so now we've got something based on our hyper-fast Webpack 5 module federation system. So what do we want to federate? Let's federate out. Let's federate out app first, just to see if that works. So we're going to call this home. I'm curious if anybody, like how many people on here know about how to use, can we use Zustand with React Native? More than likely, yeah. I would think so. I wouldn't see any reason why I couldn't. It's pretty basic. I mean, it's pretty fundamental. I don't think there's any bindings to. Yeah, I think you should be fine. Okay, so we've got that. So now we need, I don't know, create like a search app. I'm kind of making this up as I go along. So let's do npx get again. Call this one search. And then we'll get rid of a couple of windows here just so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Now I'll change this one to 8081. We'll call this search. We'll give this a remote. Call that home of home at HTTP localhost 8080 enter.js. Cool. And then we'll go over here to app. And then we'll import. What did I call it again? I called it app. Sure. Okay, we'll call that search, I guess, from home/app. And this is just gonna see, can we? Is the Zustand stuff gonna work just in general? So we'll search that. Oh, we'll add in search, I guess. And then we'll fire this up, see how it goes. Yarn start. Oops, how about yarn first? Oops, how about not putting it in that directory? Boy. Yarn lock, okay, cool. Let's go into search. Start, yarn it. Yarn it, it's kind of like darn it, but with more yarn. All right, okay, so yarn start. Didn't work. Okay, so what's your problem? Error while loading, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I'm guessing, yeah, okay, so, I know what happened. Okay, so there's no remote entry, and that's probably because I didn't reboot this app. So let's start that again. Okay, so that one works. And now let's refresh this. And we're getting module ID is not a function. Okay. So let's see how app is exported. Over here, export default app. Looks good to me. Let's see, and then over here as search. Let's just make sure that I got everything just so. So, okay. Webpack to Webpack, exposes, app.jsx. That seems about right. Let's look at the remote entry. That looks about right. So, app. So let's see, window.home. There you go. Get app. That's a promise. Let's see what that is. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, there's no default on that. Why is that? Interesting. Okay. You guys still with me? Sorry about that. I know, we talked about like module federation and this is cool. I'm kind of going off book here. I just want to make sure that like I'm not like completely losing everyone. I hope you learned something about Zustand so far and that this isn't completely crazy. Okay, so I'm going to try a few things to see if I can get this to work. So I'm going to export app as a key and see if that works. And that would require me going over here and doing the same thing. So let's make sure that it works on this end. Localhost 8080. Yep, still works on that side. And now let's go over to search and see. Ugh. Okay. My app, I guess. Okay. Yeah, still not liking it. Okay, let's try as a suspense. Let's see if that works. Okay. Actually, all right, let's go fix a bunch of that stuff, so that I'm undoing that. And I'm going to do equals React lazy, import home app. And then I need to add that in a suspense. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, still blowing up, same thing. I don't know, what's going on here? I don't know. I'm a little confused. Okay. I'll push this for a little bit longer, and then if it doesn't work, then we can head off to Discord and have our chat. So I'm going to try something a little bit smaller, not like the whole app, and see if I can get that to run. I'm sure it's just like something that I've tried that's not quite right. This stuff works like 95% of the time, but like the pressure of doing this live sometimes gets, I'm sure I'm missing something tiny. All right, so let's make one last try at this. Okay. Try it one more time, just like maybe restart it. Nah, still the same problem. Okay, all right then. So let's try something smaller and simpler. We'll go over here, create a new file, call it simple.jsx, export default. Hi there. And then import React from React. All right. So now we got simple with an uppercase I. Let's go back over to Webpack. Expose that. Restart. Okay. Still looking good on that side. And let's try on the search side. Import simple. Oh. Okay, so that's... Huh. Okay, so there's something about what I'm doing in app that's not great. All right. I will try this. I'm with you, Christian. I want to find a really, really awesome state manager for module federation. I'm sure this works. I'm sure it's just me being silly. Well, actually, here, let's try a little bit more, and then we can see what's going on. So let's go and see if we can take simple and add on and make it the store. Actually, let's, God, I'm going so fast. I'm sorry. All right, here we go. Where is it? There we go. I want to see if we can get the store from Zustand, right? And then we'll export that. And that'll tell us a little bit. Let's see. So, okay, that's called that's the store. And it's store.js. I wonder if you know what? This is going to seem dumb, but maybe it's that. That seems really wrong, but whatever. We'll give it a go. Okay. And now let's see if we can get the store, at least. Okay. That's not coming through. Export const use store. So yeah, I don't know. Well, let's figure that out. Okay, so hope it didn't freak you out too much. I will post the code on GitHub, and I'll see if I can get it working this weekend, and then send you guys an update in terms of how good Zustand is for doing microFE shared state. But in the meantime, so yeah, pretty decent, very, very simple state management system on the Zustand side. Really clean, very easy to use. And as I say, it really nicely fits into that space between, really nicely fits in that space between where kind of MobX, although apparently MobX is super fast, is the primary big singleton in the sky versus, use state and use context, which is much more component oriented. So, this kind of fits nicely in between those two. So if you don't need the big MobX thing in the sky, the big Redux thing in the sky, even though it is fast, yeah. Cool. Yeah, so let's, sounds like I've been watching some Discord ads. So let's go jump on over to Discord and have a chat. All right. Can't wait to see you guys over there. And this will be my first time